Julien, welcome to the show. You've been shattering NCAA records left and right. What's this year been like for you?
It's been good. I think that I have prepared mentally for this, and I have worked so hard to be where I am today. And I think it's a really good experience so far.
How'd you first get interested in track?
I think it just started from competing back in primary school. It was just for fun. I wasn't interested in track and field at all. And I just love competing. I love winning. And from there, the primary school teachers at my school really saw my potential.
So at 5th grade in primary school in St. Lucia growing up, were you just blowing kids out of the water? I mean, were you flying by them?
Somewhat, even the guys. I mean, I really enjoyed just competing against everybody.
Yeah.
And it really didn't matter who else. I think once I won the race, I think that's all that mattered.
You moved by yourself to Jamaica at a certain point in your childhood to train more, moving from St. Lucia. Tell me about that journey.
It was tough. I think at a young age, all you know is your family, and you're still developing at that young age. I think the transition from St. Lucia to Jamaica was a really tough time in my life, where I had to learn how to do everything on my own. My mom is not there to do anything for me, and I think that I really had to grow up really quickly during that time of my life.
Do you think, looking back at it, that benefited you, kind of building up that resiliency?
I think so. It also prepared me for the next stage in my life. I think that my transition from St. Lucia to Jamaica at that young age also helped me, or also made the transition from Jamaica into UT very easier for me.
Yeah, how did you end up at UT? You went from St. Lucia to Jamaica and now Austin, Texas.
Coach Flo, he recruited me and I came on my visit, and because I've been following him for such a long time prior to coming over here, I didn't go anywhere else after I came on my visit here at Texas.
How much of a culture shock was it going from Jamaica to Austin?
It was quite different, to be honest. It was not that bad, I would say. I think that, like I said, because I already had that transition from St. Lucia to Jamaica, I think that the only difference was how large the place was and how like moving around was just so much harder here.
Most college athletes have either a city behind them or a state, depending on where they go to school, but you have an entire country rooting for you. St. Lucia, I know you recently went back and you've gone back numerous times and been honored by the Prime Minister, and they've had celebratory days for you. How does it feel knowing you have an entire nation supporting you?
It feels really good, especially, you know, there are athletes who were there prior to me, and they sometimes wish they had that kind of support behind them. And I think that it's really good to just see a whole country behind me, and it also motivates me. And I hope that it can inspire like younger athletes as well in my country to also, you know, continue the journey and just not give up.
You're so great at your sport, but now because you're so successful at it, you're drawing a lot of national attention and international. How are you dealing with that aspect of it, the fame?
Sometimes I really have to remember that I haven't gotten to where I want to get to yet, which is the Olympics, and to become an Olympian and win a gold medal, and also at the World Championship. But I really try to, at this point in my life, stay off social media because it can be a bit challenging for me being on there. It can be overwhelming, I would say. So I really try to stay off social media as much as possible, to just try to keep my head on straight and just not get driven away by all of this.
When you look at how you're dealing with moving here to Austin, Texas, when you look back at St. Lucia, for people who aren't familiar with it, how would you best describe the country? We're
a very tiny place as compared to a lot of other tiny Caribbean islands. I love the culture over there, and I think that the people over there are very welcoming. I think it's a great place to stay. We're also the #1 honeymoon destination.
#1 honeymoon destination.
Yes,
all right, good to know. Good selling point. Before we let you go, you hold the top 3 marks in NCAA history in the women's 60 meters. What is the ceiling for you?
I don't know, to be honest. I think I never want to put a limit on myself. I think that every time I step on the line, it's like, let's see what we can do today. And it's never about time. I think, like Coach Flo was saying to me, that we also, like, nobody remembers the time that you ran at any competition. They remember, like, oh, you're the national champion. But I never want to put a limit on myself.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. It was great having you here, Julien, Alfred. Thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me.